Just because someone is good at something doesn't mean they would be a good person to you, nor would they be a good friend. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Keke. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. So today's conversation is one that I think was overdue, because after the conversation I had with you guys, after the discussion or chat I had with you guys about the ugly truth about influencer events, I just thought it's only right that I actually dive into another reason that actually causes me to not be seen or engage that much with influencers. Okay, I want to start by saying, just because someone is good at something and they're great at curating their YouTube videos doesn't mean they're going to be a good person to you. I'm going to say it again. Just because someone is good at something doesn't mean they would be a good person to you, nor would they be a good friend. I think oftentimes we think that just because someone is good at curating their Instagram feed or producing the best content, that they would also be a good person. And I think this is because we idolize people so much that when we see them doing something well, we think they're the best person as well. We tie their personality and their mannerism or their characters to what they can do. And that creates a very big confusion, because what a person is good at doing doesn't mean that automatically makes them a good person, you know? For example, just because someone is a really, really, really good doctor and they're always saving their patients and they're always making sure their patients are alive, doesn't mean that they're a good friend to the people that are in their lives. So before I dive into the things that really make me not interested in being friends with influencers, I'm going to tell you a quick story, right? So when I was doing my first or second year in varsity, I took part in pageants. And there's a specific pageant that I was taking part in the East Rand. In that pageant, I got to be top 5, right? So there were a lot of us girls, and I got to be in top 5. In the process of the pageant, I got close to one of the girls that was also running for the pageant, who later ended up dropping out because she just felt like it's a bit much for her work and school. You know, the pageant was just taking a lot of her time as well. So she dropped out before we could actually have the main event, the big event. When I got to top 5 at the end of the event, and I'm not going to give you too much detail about the story, but I just want you to have an idea of why I'm not friends with influencers. So I'm going to just skim through the story. Yeah, so me and this girl became close. At the end of it all, she obviously dropped out of the pageant. At the end of the pageant, I got top 5. One of the judges really, really liked me and said they would love to work with me and everything of that sort. So I once got a call one day then, at a later stage after the event and after the pageant and everything. I got a call from the judge saying, listen, there's an event coming up and I would like you to come through so you can network and so I can see how you are in the social space, you know. And so he was saying to me, you can of course bring a +1. And that's when I decided, you know what, let me take this girl, because she never really got to experience the pageant like we all did. So let me just take her to the event with me so that she can also at least network and get her name out there, because she was such a lovely lady. So I thought. She was such a lovely young lady, and I just felt like she deserves to also be in the spaces that might take her far in the industry, you know, because she was also not just a pageant girl, she was also breaking into the social media content creation influencer space, just like how I was. And so I thought, you know what, we could do this thing together. So I took her with me to the event, and that was one of my first ever events, actually, one of my first big events, because Felicia Satel Mabuza was there. And I'll try to find a picture so I can show you that I took a picture with her at the actual event. The picture of Felicia Satel Mabuza. I'm not going to show you guys the girl I'm talking about because I don't like name dropping. But yeah, I called her up, told her there's an event coming up and I would like her to come with me. She came with me, and on the night we had a blast. You know, Felicia Satel Mabuza was telling us how to thrive as young black women and all these things. And after she had done speaking, because it was like more like what is it called when there's a panel? Yeah, so there was a panel on stage, and Felicia Satel Mabuza was one of them, but she was the main character of that session, of that event. But anyway, so the event ended. When it ended, we got the opportunity to go backstage to go see her and greet her and talk to her. So the judge was also there, and he said to me, I love Keke, I wanted her to meet you because she was my number one, right? He said she was my number one, but obviously it's a unanimous decision, so we ended up going with the top three that we went with. Okay, cool. Fast forward, the event goes well, it all ends. Tell me why the next day I get a call from the pageant manager. And the pageant manager was not part of the event. He was not there. He didn't even know about it. I get a call from him saying, why are you going around saying that you're number one and that you won the pageant? And I was like, sir, what are you talking about? And he said to me, yeah, I heard you're going around telling people that you won and you're number one. I said, that's not what the conversation went like, number one. Number two, how did you even know I was at an event? You know what I mean? And also, how would it make sense that you were part of a conversation that you didn't even know of? When you were there, how? How were you there? Like I was so confused. I couldn't, it baffled me. Even now it baffles me because my mind malfunctioned. But anyway, he says to me, yeah, I heard that you said you're number one, and when you won the pageant, I wouldn't like you spreading false information about yourself because you were top five, not number one. I said, number one, sorry, that's not how the conversation went. And whoever told you this clearly didn't tell you the exact thing that was said. And I don't know what they're trying to do, but they're not giving you the full backstory. And so after that conversation went on, it ended. And then I got a call from now the judge of the pageant saying, I know that I said I was going to work with you. I absolutely adore you. I love you. But at the end of the day, I just feel like these people are going to cause a lot of tiff. They're going to cause a lot of trouble for us if we continue working together. And so let's just take a break. Maybe we'll work together in the future. At that point, they had messed up the opportunity I was getting from this, okay? I later got to find out that the girl that I took as my plus one to that event is the person that called the pageant manager telling him that we are saying I won the pageant and we are giving Felicia Sasamabuza the wrong information and this and this and this. And this was a long time ago, but this story still really haunts me to this day because I feel like that girl really took away an opportunity for me simply because she wasn't happy that I'm getting that type of acknowledgement. And my thing is, I brought you to that space to also network, but you didn't use that platform. But anyway, so I got to realize that oftentimes people in the same industry as you are in secret competition with you. She was in secret competition with me and she pretended to be a friend to me. Whereas I opened up to her and put her in a space where I was like thinking, listen, we're going to conquer this thing together. Young black women who are very dedicated to themselves in the pageant space and the social media space, and we're going to do this thing together. But clearly, that was not how she thought about it. So after all of that, I really started being very closed off to the idea of being friends with people in the same industry as me because there's a lot of competition, a lot of ego, there's a lot of throwing each other under the bus and all of that other stuff. And I've seen a lot of that in today's industry as well. Oftentimes influencers are friends with each other for the sake of what can I get out of this person? What kind of brand can I get from this person? Or connection can I get from this person? It's never really genuine. There's always just a secret vendetta. The intentions are not always pure. And so I find it very difficult to be friends with people who I can't be myself with or genuine with or open with because you're supposed to be my friend. So now you're going to use something that I opened up to you about, and you're going to use it against me one day. And then next thing is over, and I'm being spoken about in this manner, whereas you're the only person that knew about that. Or I told you in secret, or I told you and I was being vulnerable with you, And so, yeah, man, I just feel like a lot of these friendships are often really transactional. It's never really genuine. And there's a lot of fake smiles, fake this, fake that. And sometimes, and now more than ever, if you don't look a certain way or you don't have certain brands in your space, or you don't have a certain man doing things for you, or you don't have this and that, or you don't travel enough, or you don't drive your own car, or you don't, or you don't keep up with girl maintenance, all these things, if you don't have all these things, you're not going to be good enough for the group or the friendship because you're supposed to keep up, right? For me, I can't do that. I've been friends with people who despise social media, but we still connect and we're good people because I don't make our friendship about social media. I don't make our friendship about what I have experienced in that light. And so I think that for me, it's very important for people to understand that influencers cannot always be your friends, nor can they be friends themselves, because influencers have a goal to achieve, and some of them can do anything and everything to get to that goal, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not the type of person who knows how to fake how I feel. Like, if I don't like something, I won't be part of it. If I don't like how people are treating me, I won't be around them. And so I find that oftentimes, even when people don't like how they're being treated or how they treat each other in that space, they still stay around each other just for the sake of what they can gain at the end of the day. And I get it, right? Sometimes we want to be in spaces and push through the boundaries and push through the mean vibes or jealousy. But at the end of the day, you can only take so much as a person. You know, I think that if you work hard and you work hard enough to be seen and for your work to be acknowledged, you will get there. You don't have to take shortcuts of being friends with people or fake friendships or building fake friendships, allowing people to treat you however just because you know that they're your next bag or your next bread or however you guys refer to money these days. So, you know, I wanna really like, I want people to understand that the way I am is the way I am. Like, people who know me really know that I'm a good person. I come from a good family who raised me well, and I have good manners. I know how to respect people and I know how to treat people. But don't take me for a fool, you know. Don't take me for a ride. Nje, don't test me because I'm kind, you know, because I also have my days where I can really give what I'm dished, you know, but I choose not to because I personally believe in just being kind and being respectful to people no matter what. But also don't take advantage of that. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, we need to separate idolizing someone with thinking that they're a good person. Just because I love X or Y's fridge restock videos doesn't mean that I know they'd be a good friend to me. Nor should I think that they will ever feed me the same food that they're restocking. Because just because someone is good at doing something doesn't mean that they're going to be a good person to you. And that's what I think a lot of people need to put in their minds. You know, these days people are out to get each other, and I will never understand that. But this is to say, not all influencers and content creators are like this. There are content creators and influencers I've met that are really kind and really are ready to be like, hey, Keke, I found this opportunity and I think it would be good for you. I've met a few of those people, and they're really good people and they're genuine people. But this doesn't erase the fact that there are those that are quite the opposite that I would just never want to be around. There are a lot of cloud chasers in this industry, a lot of ego-driven people in this industry, a lot of like people who think they have some sort of godly character compared to other people. There's a hierarchy. There's a lot, right? And I think that it's very important to understand that that's not how it should be. Right? There's no need for us to behave like vicious animals. There's room for everyone, and I think in South Africa we don't understand or realize that there's room for everyone to grow and be a good person and grow their brand without having to be shitty to the next person or without having to throw other people under the bus. And that's why sometimes you guys get shocked when like someone that you look up to or idolize is in some bad thing because you think, oh my God, she would never do that. Of course she does. She can and she will, because that's her personality, that's who she is. What they've done for the industry and what they've shown you or inspired you with has nothing to do with the kind of person they are inside. If I'm working and I'm a dentist and I'm working on my client's teeth, making sure that they have the best smile in the world, doesn't mean I go around smiling with other people, doesn't mean I'm a good person to other people. You know, that's why oftentimes, and I'm not saying everyone, some of the people in the industry who are very successful tend to do a lot of bad things because they think they can get away with it. And we think, no, they would never. They're good people. I fear, mina ngiyabasaba abantu abanenhliziyo ezimbi because they're capable of anything. I've had my fair share of that and I don't want to be around that. And so that's why I also try my best to like not become that and be swallowed by the industry, because it's also easy to be swallowed by the industry, to end up like those people. You're surrounded a lot by that kind of character and behavior, and now you think it's okay to behave like that, you know, and it's really not. Also, I realized that it's also so sad when I bump into someone that follows me on Instagram or wherever, and they're like, nice to meet you, you know, and I'm receptive, and they're like, you know, it's so weird, like how kind you are, open you are, how you know how to receive us well as people when we come greet you. And I'm just like, well, that's how it should be. And they're like, nah, but that's not how normal influencers behave. And in my head, I'm like, what are normal influencers supposed to behave like? Are they supposed to be mean and rude? That's not normal. If anything, people should be glad when you greet them. Obviously, sometimes I'm having a bad day, I don't want to be greeted, but it's really not that deep. Like, this person is one of your supporters who got you where you are, and you can't even say hi properly. That's crazy to me. And so, yeah, with that being said, I will always just build friendships based on what a person is like, what they are like towards me, how respectful they are or kind they are, their mannerism, their character, their traits. I will always look at those things because for me, friendship has nothing to do with where you come from, what you have, what you don't have. It has a lot to do with what's inside of you and how you treat people and whether that's reciprocated between you and I. Also, another thing is that just because I need to work with someone doesn't mean we have to be friends. Okay? You can bring an opportunity to me and I can bring one to you, or we can collaborate or do brand deals together. But that does not mean we have to be friends. Because maybe that's the only thing we have in common. And now we want to force a friendship just because we worked on the same thing together. No, it's okay. Like, that's the thing. Like, we need to be able to differentiate between different relationships. That's why it's important to differentiate between a friend, an acquaintance, a colleague, and all these things, right? Because once you cross the line of thinking you're friends with just anybody just because you did one or two things with them or you met them somewhere, that's where the lines get blurred. That's where weird things start to happen. That's where a lot of blood is shed. And so be careful out there. And for me, as a content creator or influencer, whatever you want to refer to me as, I will always be xoxo before I'm a content creator or an influencer. And that's why when I meet people, wherever I meet them, they get to meet me. And if you meet anything outside of that, then it's not me. But thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you know when I upload. If you want to have more conversations like this, hit me up on my comments and let's talk about it the same way we were able to talk about that other topic. But yeah, you guys have been so amazing. I love all the support. It's been fun. This was a fun conversation. And oh, I wanted to tell you where I got my hair done. So I got my hair done by Trish on the Beat in Brum. And then these earrings I got at a boutique store. They were about 200 Rand. I absolutely love these earrings. Like, the detail is insane. And then this is from Shein. You know, Shein girlies. But yeah, that's all. And then at the bottom, I'm just wearing my sweatpants because I haven't changed at the bottom. It's because I'm not leaving the house yet. But as soon as I go back to work, I will definitely be changing. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you on the next one. Bye.